Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I will be starting this little series where I sculpt my players' D&D characters out of HeroClix, green stuff, and every other kind of little bits and bobs that I got laying around the house. Today we will be starting off with Frog Legs. He's big, he's hairy, he's from the swamp, he's got a beaten stick, and he hates gators. That pretty much sums up the character. But for this character, my buddy, he came up with this character when we all had a little bit too much to drink, or maybe it was before we had a little too much to drink, and then the drinking kind of made this character better. I don't know. It's all a bit of a blur. But yeah, he came up with this character as kind of just a on the whim kind of thing. I think for the idea for these characters, there's another character in the next video coming up. But these characters, like, it originally started off, they were all gonna role play as a band of ogre musicians who do like Cajun music or something. It was silly as crap, but we actually planned it out and it worked. But instead of them all being ogres, they're like just a band of other things. Old Frog Leg is a human, but but it was basically a combination of a swamp fisherman fighter mixed with this guy right here. Y'all recognize him from Waterboy. And basically, the more we talked about it, I could only see that guy running around with a battle axe fighting people. But instead of a battle axe, we basically made a Frog Leg a custom little beaten stick. It's like a carved shillelagh kind of thing, but we gave it the stats of a morning star or something. I can't remember. And wasn't too overpowered, and it was just pretty cool because it was funny. Also, we came up with a little fun fact. We came up with a little thing, since I was DMing, I came up with a little thing that if they gathered up five safe to eat ingredients, they could cook gumbo at a campfire and increase the health, like gain health back in case they for like running out of spells, because in a few of these particular games there was these totems by these swamp witches that were messing with magic, so healing spells didn't quite work. There was a chance that they could fail and blow things up, or like magic was chaotic around these totems until they destroyed them. It was great, and they pulled it out in the end and somehow won, and I'm very proud of them. But we're going to roll onto the table and show you the process of how I made Frog Legs.
Alright everybody, to start this video, to start off the Frog Legs build, we had to find the right HeroClix that would have worked. And I luckily happened to have this Peter Parker version of it's just a Spider-Man on it, but it's like from I don't really know what series it's from, but I was reading a shirt there, and that's why for some reason I want to call him Peter Parker. I don't know that's his name, but still. This fat version of Spider-Man, I guess he's got his like dad bod or his grandpa bod or whatever the hell it is going on. He's got himself a big old gut, and I thought that would be perfect to start off with Frog Legs here. First off, we just of course we gotta pop him off that base and then strip him down in some acetone and then reattach him to a base using just a washer and some hot glue. I learned that method from DM Scotty. It saves you a good amount of money because you don't necessarily need too much on the base, especially because you can flock it and everything, so that works for later on. Of course, the way that me and my buddy that came up with the character, he wanted Frog Leg to have sideburns, just like the reference picture that I showed you, and he wanted him to have like a big old prospector style hat. So what we had to chop the top of his head off, right above the eyes, after adding the sideburns, and glue on the brim of the hat. And as that was drying and hardening and everything, I moved on to the body, where I started covering up the seam where his shirt was sticking up to make it look more like one cohesive thing. And we gave it like an overall type thing, like overalls or coverall, whatever you want to call them. And they're folded over on the front and on the back, as you can see here. By this time we have on these pictures you can see that I've already started on adding some cuffs to his boots to make them look more like solid things. The sculpting was a bit difficult on this part because the my green stuff was a bit hardening at this time, and got a little more difficult to shape it, but it was getting there near the end. I ended up losing some photos of the sculpting process, but as you can see here, we added on some thigh armor, which looks like a mixed match of things, because the way that he described Frogleg didn't have like cohesive armor. He just had like mixed match of armor, things that he made himself, and things that, you know, was mainly for fighting gators, because, you know, he wasn't after bugbears or nothing. He wanted to fight gators. We gave him little parts on his hands to make it look like they were metal, so that he could like punch gators and everything. Moving on here, I used some blue stuff to make to mold a copy of a Ralpartha skeleton. I don't remember which one exactly it was, but it had like a cow skull on it, and I thought it'd be perfect, so I made a little mold of it, and I made that copy of the skull on his shoulder there. And we added that on, made it look like it was, you know, part of it. Added the straps to the back of the thigh armor, and basically just kept on adding little details like the belt and the buckles and stuff. And I was going to add a little side satchel, like a backpack, but my buddy who came up with the design for Frogleg, he decided off of that near the end. We took it outside and we primed it in gray using some Krylon gray paint and primer spray paint. After that, we just painted it due to how he requested it. He did give me a little bit of leeway with it, so I added a few things, just a few color changes and things to add to it, and here's the finished product. Frogleg was ready for the tabletop. We continued to my buddy who came up with the design. Me and him continued to talk all the way through it, and we wanted to do add his swamp stick, as we called it, his special weapon, but the hands on this HeroClick were a little too small. I didn't want to risk just, you know, using a pin drill or something and just like tearing the hand completely off. So I just left that out for now. We might add that on later on. And the only thing then with this figure, the face, once you take that paint off, the face is kind of left with. If you try to paint it up, it will end up looking just more like Spider-Man. So I didn't really want to risk painting the eyes myself and making it look ridiculous. But so far, that's that.
Alright everybody, that's how we made Froglegs. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. We got more to come, and if y'all have any suggestions as for more things to craft, head them down below and I'll read them and get back to you as soon as I can. Don't forget to check out our Facebook group now. It's just Junk Chimera on Facebook. I'm pretty sure. If there's bugs, sorry, it's relatively new. I don't quite know if I have everything quite worked out, but it's there. So you guys keep up to date on things that are happening with the channel. Also, check out the merchandise at my Redbubble shop. We got t-shirts of all sorts of things. Well, not just t-shirts, we got a whole bunch of crap on there. I don't really know. Redbubble keeps adding new things, and I've bought a few of them myself, and I can tell you by personal experience that they are high quality items and they are awesome. Except for that t-shirt back there, my Dragon Ball Z t-shirt. I did not buy that on Redbubble. I bought that. Someone bought me that for Christmas at GameStop or something. It was like $1, and it's got, you can't see right over here, it's Android 16, and that's my boy there. That tank of a human being. No, tank of an android. That's what he is. Android. Yeah, love that son of a bitch. But anyway, moving on. I'll see you guys in the next video, and have a good one. That didn't sound right.